And so just wondering how many people really do lay on their backs on the ground. So it's a good habit of getting into every once in a while. Um, it'll really help to work on your posture. Yeah, on your posture. And you're gonna notice there's a lot more of a grounding sensation to it. So if you can do that like outside or in your house, kitchen floor. I mean, you can always put a blanket down or something, so you can soften it a little bit more. But so as you lie down, you're going to notice the natural curves of your body a little bit more than when you're on your couch or when you're on your bed mattress. So just take a few moments here to notice that. And it might not be as comfortable as you think, just because you're not used to it. And the more you get used to it, the more you do it, body will adjust, and you'll find that the body really actually benefits from just this. And this is a practice in itself, just lying down on your back and just noticing. So of course, if you're using a chair at home, then you just sit against the chair and try not to make it a squishy chair. So try to make it a little bit more of a solid chair with your feet flat on the ground. So this practice today, we're going to need a strap or a scarf, a block, and then if you need something underneath your knees for some of the things we'll do, then you can do that with that. And if you don't have a block, you can use something like a rolled up towel or something like a soft, maybe a paperback book, something like that. So right now, just getting yourself all settled and taking a few moments to arrive to your practice. And perhaps setting an intention. Why did you come to yoga today? There's always a reason. And any reason is a great reason. It doesn't need to be this huge blown up thing. It can just be really, really simple. So just take a moment and just come to this realization of what your intention is for your practice today. So yoga is a practice of a lot of things. Yoga is replication of what we do in our practice, is replicating what's happening in our daily lives and how we can get through our lives in a peaceful, calm state. It's not always going to be happy and roses and bunny rabbits all the time, but we can try to make our lives a little bit more pleasant when we do pay a little bit more attention and practice some yogic qualities. Um, there are some sutras, which are scriptures in the yoga philosophy. And the sutras are something that's like stories that are stitched together. And there are, in this one sutra, there are, it's called Panjali's Sutra, Yoga Sutras. And they are kind of stories on how we can be the best person for ourselves and for everyone that has to deal with us. And there are what is called limbs. So there's 8 limbs. And one of the limbs is movement. Okay. But the first limb is the limb of observances. And in this limb, there's 5 categories. The first one is nonviolence, being kind. And it starts with ourselves and it trickles into our day-to-day lives and being kind to everything else that lives on this earth. The second one is honesty, being honest with ourselves. and being able to tell our truth and our beliefs. The third one, and I'm not going to go too deep into these, but the third one is not stealing, which actually means noticing where your boundaries and your limitations are within your physical body, in your mental body, and just in your day-to-day life. Okay. And the fourth one is all about moderation and balance. And we're trying to find how we can and that's through everything that you eat, everything that you do, and just trying to find that moderation and balance. And the fifth one, the last one, is gratitude, feeling grateful for who we are and grateful for what we're able to do. So these five little kind of rules in the yama, which is the first limb, these are woven through your daily life. You might now be kind of aware that these things do come up if you're a little bit more aware of it, if you're taking a little bit more time to process. But in your yoga practice itself, I do weave in all of these little elements into your practice. So maybe today you can maybe observe a little bit more and just notice that they will kind of trickle out and peek out every once in a while. So let's take 3 breaths in here. Let's take a nice big breath in through the nose, side out, and do that again. Inhale through the nose, and side out through the nose. One more time. Inhale through the nose, and side out through the mouth. Good. And then just take a moment again. Okay, and then on your next breath, bring your arms up and behind your head. Give yourself a little stretch. And then we're going to make ourselves into a banana shape. So your arms and your legs are going to go in the same direction, and your hips are going to stay where exactly they are. So you're kind of in a crescent shape. And you're going to breathe in and out through the side of the body that you're moving away from. So your shoulders are still on the ground, like this. Okay. Yeah. So your shoulders are still on the ground, your buttocks are still on the ground, your heels are still on the ground. And you just adjust yourself. Your arms are on the ground, and you're kind of like in a half moon or a crescent shape, like a banana. Don't force it. Just go as far as you're comfortable. And then on your next inhalation, stretch yourself back out, come back to your center, and then go in a banana shape in the other direction. You'll find one direction you're going to be a lot more mobile, and you might be able to breathe a little bit better, and then maybe you won't. Maybe you'll be a little bit more obstructions there. You'll notice different things. And then inhale, straighten yourself back up. And exhale, bring your arms all the way down. And just take a moment here. And then on your next breath, let's bring those knees in towards your chest. So you're going to give yourself a little hug. And don't worry if the knees touch your chest or not. If they do, they do. If they don't, they don't. Don't worry about it. You can hold on to your knees, your shins, or underneath your thighs. So you're just going to give yourself a little hug. Okay, and maybe you like to rock from side to side. Maybe you want to do little circles in your back. Just take a moment here. We're moving a little bit more inwards. Doing a little check-in with ourselves. And then you're going to grab your block and you're going to reach your legs up towards the ceiling and have the block on the soles of your feet. So the block is going to go here. Now this is not going to be easy for everybody. The legs do not need to be straight. So we're just doing a little bit of balance here. Just do the best you can. You do the best you can. If it falls, it falls. Try again. I'll come around and help. Oh, here, stable. Okay, here. There. So just trying to look for some balance here. It's okay. Keep trying, keep trying. There you go. Excellent. Good. As I said, it's not an easy. So not an easy thing to do. If it pulls down, that's okay. We're not staying here for very long. And then you can bring it back down. And then just slide back down. Just take the block off to the side. And then you're gonna, I gave everyone a strap or a scarf. Okay, so you're lying down on your backs. So we're gonna take the strap or scarf. Okay, and you're gonna have your knees bent. Both knees are bent. Okay, and you're gonna bring that right knee in towards your chest. And you're gonna take your scarf and put it on the ball of the arch of the foot. And then you're gonna just stretch that leg up. The knee can be bent. And you're just gonna do a little bit of a press with your heel. Just a little press with the heel, lifting up, and you're gonna feel a little stretch through the back of maybe your hip, your buttocks, the back of your leg. Yeah. So just breathe. Remember all those little gammas that I talked about? Kindness, finding your truth, where you are here in this, what your belief system is. You might believe this is stupid. That's okay. That's okay. And just thinking about your limitations here. Everyone has limitations. They are meant to keep you safe. So pay attention. And then just find your balance. Even in this pose, we're still looking for balance. We're looking for balance. And balance doesn't necessarily mean in our physical bodies. It could be in our lives. It could be somewhere else, maybe in your mind, maybe with your thoughts. And then just feeling gratitude that you can even do this. Take a few breaths here. Hopefully everyone just started breathing. Okay, so you're gonna hold now the scarf in your right hand. Okay, in your right hand. Okay, just in the right hand, and you're gonna move the scarf over. You're gonna move that right leg over towards that right wall a little bit. Only as far as you're comfortable doing it. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. That's okay. Okay, now let's see if we cannot twist. Let's see if we can keep both buttock cheeks on the ground, and just gently with your left hand, place your left hand on your left hip, just so that the left hip doesn't lift. Okay. And you're gonna know some stretching in that leg. Be kind, be gentle. Make sure you're breathing. Don't smack your neighbor in the head. Okay, and then you're going to change hands. So hold the scarf with your left hand, and you're going to take your leg left going over towards that left wall. And it's not going to go very far. You can do a little bit more of a twist here. You don't have to keep both buttock cheeks on the ground. You can do a little bit of a twist. So just make sure you keep your shoulders on the ground though. And make sure you breathe. And for a lot of you, it's going to be really, really uncomfortable. So just notice that. Remember, we don't have to push. We don't have to force anything. Just be aware. Okay, and then inhale back to center. And then exhale, bring your knee back in towards your chest. You can let go of this leg and just stretch out both legs. And just notice each side of your legs. Let's take a moment here. You might notice that right leg feels a little bit longer, maybe. Okay. Yeah, well, it is. You lengthened it a little bit more. Yeah. Okay, let's do the same thing with the left leg. So bring both knees in towards your chest. Give yourself another little hug. And then place your right foot onto the ground. And then take the scarf with your left foot and place it on the ball or the arch of the left foot. And then you're going to stretch that leg up. This might be an easier leg for you. You're going to notice some differences for sure. And just take some time just to lift the leg up and breathe and notice. The more you flex your foot and reach your heel up, the more intense this stretch is going to be. Oh, yeah. And remember, we don't have to force anything. Keep it nice, keep it soft. The body will yield when it wants to yield. You don't have to put too much pressure. Okay, so now we're going to take the scarf with our left hand and we're going to allow that left leg to go over towards that left wall. But again, we're going to place the right hand on our hip bone, on that right hip, just so that that right hip won't lift up. So it's going to limit how far you go. Okay, and all of a sudden you're gonna notice some firing up of your muscles here in your legs and maybe somewhere else. Make sure you're breathing. Your breathing is the most important tool that you have at your disposal. It's going to help move energy. It's going to help move blood. It's going to help calm you down. Okay, on your next breath, bring the leg back up. You're going to switch hands, grab the scarf with your right hand, and then take your leg over towards that right wall. And this time you can twist as much as you want, but just be gentle, be kind. Just make sure you're keeping both shoulders on the ground. But you can twist as much as you want. Just depends on what you're feeling, what you're noticing. And don't forget to breathe. Okay, let's inhale, bring the leg back up, release the scarf, give yourself a little hug. Maybe rock from side to side. You're going to grab your block again, or whatever you chose at home. If you don't have a block, if you have something else, like a towel or a paperback book or something like that. And we're going to take that block and we're going to place it right between our ankles or our shins. And you're going to squeeze it. Okay, so you're lying still on your back, you got your block. Place it right between your shins. Your legs are on the ground. Oh, yeah, on the ground. Yeah, on the ground, at least for now. At least for now. So your legs are on the ground, you're squeezing this block. So as you're squeezing the block between your legs, you're going to feel this activation in your lower body, maybe even in your upper body. You're going to reach your arms up and above your head, behind your head. So your arms are on the ground kind of too. So you're stretching, you're reaching. Okay, so you're going to take a breath in here. On your exhale, you're going to lift up your legs, squeezing that block. And you're going to transfer the block to your hands. So your hands are going to reach up. You're going to grab the block with your hands. You're going to bring your legs back down. And your arms are going to reach back behind you again. You can bend your knees as much as you need to. Okay, and then we're going to transfer again. So your arms are going to lift up. Your legs are going to lift up. You're going to place the block between your ankles or your shins again. Squeeze that block. Bring the arms back behind your head, and the legs are going to squeeze the block and come all the way back down. Good. Let's do that one more time. Okay, doing that transfer. So transferring it to the hands and stretch it out. Remember, you can go slow, you can take your time, and you can bend your knees. And then we'll transfer it one more time to the feet, to the ankles, and bring yourself all the way back in. Good job. And then just relax, take some time, bring your arms down. Move that block aside, maybe bend your knees, maybe shift your weight and maybe flow your knees from side to side. Sometimes that feels really, really good on the back. Good. And then we're gonna sit ourselves up. We're gonna push ourselves up into a seat. Good job, everyone. Okay. So sit comfortably. If you can sit crisscross, great. If not, then don't. Then sit however you like. You can sit on the block as well too. Okay, so we're gonna sit up nice and tall. Okay, and then we're gonna float those arms all the way up. Reach up. Good. And then we're gonna side bend towards that right side. I'm mirroring you. Place the hand on the ground. You're gonna go into a side bend. Then you're gonna come up halfway. And then come back down into a side bend. Come up halfway. And again into the side bend. This time we're gonna stay here. We're just gonna hold it for a couple of breaths. So we wanna glue both buttock cheeks into the ground, so we don't wanna lift up, okay? This arm might not work way up here. Maybe you bring it down to your head, maybe to your shoulder. Maybe you bring it down and you just side bend. Remember, you make adjustments for yourself. Whatever's gonna work. Okay, inhale, let's reach up. Reach up. And then over towards that left side. Plant it down and then side bend, halfway lift. Exhale, side bend. Halfway lift. And side bend. And we're gonna stay here. So again, once we stay, we try to make ourselves comfortable somewhat. And we can stay and breathe. And keep noticing. Notice anything that's going to happen at this moment for you. Okay, and then inhale for yourself all the way up, reach up. And this time we're going to circle the wrists around. Circle the wrists around. And then circle the wrists around the other direction. Grow a little taller, and then we're going to twist over towards that right side. We're going to bring the arms all the way down. All the way down. And then inhale, float those arms all the way up. We're going to squeeze the hands into fists. Twist over towards the other direction, and then bring those arms all the way down. We'll do that again. Inhale, reach the hands up, squeeze your hands into fists. Come back through center, twist over towards the right side, and then relax the arms all the way down. Good. Last time. Inhale, lift up. Squeeze the hands into fists. Twist over towards that left side, and then bring the arms all the way down. You'll find out that you're only going to go as far as you can go in your twist. Good. And then inhale, reach those arms up, squeeze the hands, come back through center. And then wiggle the fingers and bring them all the way down. Yeah. Shaky, shaky, shake. Okay, we're gonna come into cow and pat. So remember, there's the variations. You can sit here. You can come onto your knees. You can use the chair. You can stand up. Okay, so you find what works best for you. Okay, so cow and cat can be seated. On the knees. Standing up. Using a chair or a table. Or just standing up. So you do what works best for you. Yeah, just you do what works best for you. Okay, whatever that may be. Okay, so regardless of what you're doing, it's exactly the same movement. Cow is pushing your belly and your heart forward, squeezing your shoulder blades, looking up. And then exhale, rounding out through the back. And we don't have to push ourselves to our very, very limit, okay? Just go where you can maybe stay for a moment. And then move yourself back. We're just really, all we're doing here is warming up our spines. Our spines love this movement. It goes right through that natural curve of the spine. Make sure you're breathing in your cow, and you're exhaling out as you round the back up into your cat. Now let's do maybe 2 more of these. And then we're going to make our way up into Tadasana, so mountain pose. So we're going to stand ourselves up. Okay, I'm going to come to the top of our mats. Okay. So root down through both feet, and your arms are reaching down, and you're standing up as tall as you can. Eyes can be open or closed. Press in through all 10 toes. Remember, last time I think we worked a little bit more on the balance through our feet. So try to press underneath that big toe mound, the baby toe mound, and then the middle of the heel. So you find some balance there. And just take a few moments just to find balance through your whole body. It's a very powerful pose, this mountain pose, Tadasana. The idea is to feel quite majestic as we stand here as a mountain. Okay, and then we're going to do a few sun salutations. So lots of variations. Inhale the arms all the way up. Reach up, give ourselves a nice big stretch, and then exhale, bend into the knees and forward fold. You're gonna reach towards the toes. Don't worry if you touch them or you don't. Come up halfway, so your hand's gonna slide up onto your shins, your knees, or your thighs. Create a nice level back. Nice level back. Good. Exhale, forward bend. Reaching again towards the toes. And then when you're ready, inhale, push into your feet, bring yourself all the way up. We're going to try to do this slowly so that no one gets dizzy. Okay, inhale, lift up. Good. And then we'll do it again. Inhale, open up the arms, don't hit your neighbor, and forward fold all the way down, nice and slow. Bending into the knees as much as you need to. Come up halfway. Hands to the thighs with the shins and the knees. Back is nice and level. So we stay here for just a moment, just making sure that your shoulders are somewhat level, your hips are somewhat level, and you're lengthening through your side bodies. And then exhale, forward fold. And then inhale, bring yourself all the way up. Reach up. Good. And then we're going to bring the hands towards our heart. And we're just going to take a moment here, just to notice anything that came up as we did this. Breathe. Hopefully everyone is breathing. Okay. Let's continue. Inhale the arms all the way up. And exhale, bend into the knees, forward bend. Okay. Come up halfway. Nice level back. And forward bend. The head can really just release. Good. Okay, so we're going to plant the hands down and we're going to step back into a plank. Okay, so if you need to use the chair for this or the wall or anything, we're in a plank. The knees can be down. The knees can be down. Okay, so we're in a plank and then we're in a downward dog. Oh, okay. That's plank, downward dog. You can always use the chair for this too. Chair is always accessible. Okay, so we're in a downward dog and then we're going to step forwards. Step, 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 step. Forward bend. And then bring yourself all the way up. All the way up. Then nice and simple, nice and simple. And exhale. Okay, so I'm going to pretend that I have a chair here. And I'll show you on the chair. Okay, so inhale the arms all the way up. And exhale, forward bend again. Come up halfway. And forward bend. Okay, so your hands are either reaching to the the floor or the reaching to your chair, and then you're gonna come into your plank. So you're gonna reach your legs back, your knees can come down onto the ground. So if you're using a chair, you're just like this. Like this. Okay. Put your hands on the chair. Yeah. Okay, so we're in a plank. We're not in downward dog yet. So plank is, you want to make sure that the plank, your hips and your shoulders are level. So you can bring your knees down. This is a plank too. This is plank. This is plank. Okay. Then downward dog. Then downward dog. Okay, so downward dog is your hips are up into the air. And you kind of look like an upside down triangle. Good, and then you're gonna inhale, you're gonna walk yourself forwards. Walk, walk, walk. Into a forward bend. And then bring yourself all the way up. Woo! Yeah. Hands towards the heart. And then down by your side. I am not trying to kill you. If you don't move it, you lose it. So you gotta move it. You gotta move it. Very, very, very gentle one. But darling, take yes. The heat's on. Is it on? Oh, okay, so we're going to do the same. But this time, no, I just turned it right off. This time we're going to add in a cow and a cat. Okay? Okay, so let's start with our, and again, if anyone needs a chair, grab a chair. You can use the chair for any part of this or a wall. Okay, that's always accessible. Okay, so inhale the arms up. And exhale, forward bend all the way down. And again, you don't have to go very far down. Don't worry about if you touch your toes or not. The idea is just trying to do it. And then come up halfway. So nice level back here. And then forward fold. Good. Okay. So we're going to bring ourselves into a plank. There's our plank. But this time now we're going to lower the knees down. So if you cannot do cow and cat with your knees down, then you're just going to bring yourself up halfway and do cow and cat like this. So you're either your knees are down. Okay. So you can do cow and cat like this, or you're just going to be in a halfway lift. Okay. And then we're going to do cow and cat. So we're going to inhale our cow. Yeah. And then exhale our cat. Yeah. You just have to make adjustments until it works best for you. Inhale our cow. And exhale our cat. Good. And then we're going to come to a table. So wherever our table is, it might be halfway. It might be on our hands and knees. Okay. And then we'll come to our downward dog. Hips in the air. Good. And then inhale, walk yourself forward. Walk, walk, walk. Walk, walk, walk. Good. Let it go. And then bring yourself all the way up. Reach up. Good. And then bring your hands towards your heart. Good. And then down by your side. Excellent. Good job. Okay. So we're going to come into a lunge. So inhale the arms to our hearts. And we're going to take your left leg back. So your right leg is forwards. And we're going to plant that foot at 45 degrees. So we're in a warrior one. Okay? Your hips are facing the front part of your mat. And you're bending into that right knee. Okay? Good. We'll find our balance here. And then we're going to bring the arms up. And remember, just because my arms are up does not mean your arms need to be up. They can be up here. They can be down here. They can be here. They can be here. They can be here. They can be wherever it suits you at this moment. And it can be a whole pile of different places. Okay? So take a moment here. Take a couple breaths. Okay, so we're going to shift the weight a little bit. We're gonna come onto the ball of the back foot. Okay, you might want to bring your hands towards your heart. Okay, so we're gonna lift up and we're gonna straighten up. Okay, and then we're gonna bend and bring that foot back down. Okay, so it's really important that we find a fixed point and that we really focus on that fixed point. That's called your drishti. Okay, and we're gonna lift up and come back down. So you feel that weight shift in your body. If you need to hold on to a chair or something else, you can always do that as well too. Okay, now if this seems good for you, you want more of a challenge, you can bring the arms up as you lift up. And bring the hands back down as you go back down. Yeah, let's do that one more time. Lift up. And come back down. Good. Stay here for a breath. And let's take a step forwards. And come back into our Tadasana for a moment again. Take a moment. So while we take these moments, just notice. Notice what's happening. Notice maybe those yamas we talked about. So the idea of kindness and honesty, your beliefs, and where your edges are, where your limitations are, your moderation, balance, and gratitude. Okay, so let's do the same thing on the other side. So let's take that left leg and bring it back this time. So about 45 degrees, you can always adjust the space between your legs, and you're gonna bend into that left knee. And making sure that those hips are facing the front part of your mat. Yes. Cool. Okay, so equal weight through both your feet. And sometimes that's a little bit hard. Sometimes we tend to lean back more or go forward a little bit more. So just wiggle around until you find, it might take a few moments to figure out, okay, like all my toes attached. Does my heel have the same amount of weight? It takes some time. And then you can bring your hands towards your heart. Okay, take a moment there. Okay, so hands can stay here if you'd like. You can bring them back up. Give a little stretch in through the armpits and through the length of the body. And then we're going to start to move. So you can bring those hands back to the heart. And we're going to come up onto the right toes. And we're going to stretch out that left foot. And then bend back into the left knee and bring that right foot down. Okay. And again, if you want to move the arms will lift up as we go up. And come back down as we go down. Take your time. Inhale as we lift up. And exhale as we come back down. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, reach up. Good. And exhale, bring it back. Excellent. Okay, and then we're going to take a step forwards. Come back to our Tadasana, our mountain pose. Feel how strong you are. And again, take a moment. It's going to be different on one side than the other side of the body. And now we're going to go into Warrior Two. We've done this one before. So we're going to take the left leg and we're going to bring the left leg back and turn it. Okay? So the toes on the back foot are facing the long part of the mat. Toes in the front foot are facing the short part of the mat. We're going to bend into that knee. Okay, so again, we're going to find some balance between these legs as much as we can. So our bodies are right in between the legs. Okay. And don't worry about the hips. The hips might be a little crooked. That's okay. That's the way we're built. We're not going to worry about that. We want to bend into the front knee. Oh, front knee. Yeah, that's okay. And we're going to reach those arms out. Okay. Now, eventually the arms are going to get tired. So we're reaching the right arm out in front and the left arm out behind us. Behind, yes, yes.
Okay.
So we're kind of like a snowboarder or a surfer. Okay, have that image in your mind. Yeah, snowboarder, surfer. Okay, and this knee is going to be right over top of that ankle. We're going to try not to have it cave in, because when we let it cave in, it's going to end up hurting your hip joint, your knee joint, your ankle joint, and believe it or not, your shoulder joint. So don't do that. Make sure everything is connected. Make sure the knee stays right over top of the ankle. Okay, equal weight here. Okay, so we're going to exhale. We're going to just tilt ourselves backwards. Backwards, so towards the back of the room. That doesn't mean our feet are moving. That means just that our upper body has moved. Okay, we're going to hold it here. We still are bending into that front knee though. The front knee is still bent. Okay, and then we're going to come right back into warrior two. Good. And then bring the arms down. Good. Now we're going to transition the feet. We're going to bring them to face that way. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. And then we're going to face the back wall. So now the left foot is in front. The left foot is in front. Yeah. Yeah. It's facing the back wall. It's facing the back part of the mat. Okay. Those toes. And then your back toes, your right toes, are facing the long part of your mat. You have equal weight through both feet. Now you're going to bend into that left knee. And you're going to reach those arms out. So now the left hand is pointing towards the back of the room, and the right arm is pointing towards the front of the room. Nope, the other way. Yes, that way. That way. Yes. Okay. Yes. Like remember, like that snowboarder, like the snowboarder. Yeah. Whoops. Whoops, whoops, whoops. There we go. Talking to myself. Okay, so we're holding it here. Okay, and let's reverse our warrior again. So we're going to go backwards, making sure our body stays right in between. Just, nope, you're just tilting backwards. Oh. So the left hand is going up towards the ceiling, the right hand is going back behind you. Yeah. Good, make sure you're breathing. Good, and then bring yourself all the way back up. Bring the arms down. And then we're going to pivot our feet back. And come back to the front of the mat and take a step forwards. Good. Okay. Phew. Take a moment here. Wiggle around. And actually, let's shake. Let's shake out the fingers. We're just going to wiggle, wiggle, shake. And just start shaking up in our muscles and our joints. And even the knees and the hips. Shake it. Yeah, shake it, shake it. It's actually very, very beneficial. Getting that blood moving. Moving the ankles, moving the feet. Shake, shake, shake. Shake. Even just putting on some music and just doing this, hugely beneficial.
I call it yoga, yeah.
It's good. It's all good. Okay, we are going to make our way down onto the ground. Okay. So getting all the way down onto the ground, however you need to do it. It doesn't have to be that graceful. Just get down onto the ground. And we're going to actually come onto our tummies. Let's get onto our tummies. Then we're going to come up onto our forearms like this. With our hands. Like that. Yeah. So it's kind of a version of Sphinx pose. Okay. So we're on our forearms. Like this. Yeah. And our elbows are right underneath our shoulders. Good. You probably did this as a kid. Watch TV like this. No? No. Never?
You're not allowed. I think we're allowed now.
You weren't allowed?
No.
No.
You have to sit properly.
Oh, yes. Okay, this is so much better than sitting.
Talk to my mother.
I know. It was the thought that sitting properly was beneficial for you. It was never beneficial for you. Okay, so sitting up nice, well, we're up as much as we can. So we're pressing onto our forearms, the hands are together, and we're just kind of lifting up. So those lower ribs are maybe just grazing the ground, reaching our legs back. So we've got a little bit of a bend going into our back right now. Nice, a little back bend. Try to keep the neck nice and long. Okay, so we don't want to have some wrinkles back here. I want to keep that no wrinkles through the back. I'm going to take a couple more breaths here. And then if you can, maybe bring your legs up. If you can. If you can't, just try, and you might get a cramp. That's okay. Just notice, oh, everyone's doing it. That's awesome. Take a little bit more breath or two. And then we're going to bring those legs down. And then we're going to lie all the way back down onto our mat into crocodile. So crossing the arms. And then your forehead can be on the mat or your arms. Or maybe you rest your cheek and you turn your head. That might be more comfortable. If you do that, you just have to make sure that halfway through you turn your head the other direction. Just take a few moments here to breathe and to notice. Okay. And then we're going to bring ourselves up and we're going to roll over onto one side. So I'm going to be on my right side. Let's start on the right side. You can put a block underneath your head or your arm, up to you. Bend into your knees. And then you can use the strap if you want to start, or you can use your hand and you're going to grab hold of your ankle. Okay, you can use the strap again as much as you need to. And we're just going to gently bring that leg back behind us. You've done this before too. So we're not yanking the leg. We're being soft. We're being gentle. You're going to feel some stretching happening in through the quads and the hip flexor, where the hip attaches to the thigh. Okay, and you're just going to use your breath here. It should feel like some gentle stretching. Okay, and then let's gently release that. Bring that leg down, take a moment. And then we're going to roll over onto your other side and do the same thing. So again, you might need a strap for this one, you might not. Depends on how much mobility you have on this side. Okay. Prelude your head if you need to. And then grab hold of your ankle or your foot. And then it's just a gentle bringing the leg back. Make sure you're breathing, using your breath as much as you can when you need to. Take 1 or 2 more breaths here. And then gently roll over onto your back, release the leg, roll over onto your backs. I'm going to bend into the knees and we're just going to do a gentle little twist. So your arms can go wherever they feel comfortable. You can move your feet a little bit wider, or you can bring your feet closer, and you're just gently going to move your knees from side to side. So you're coming into a twist, but you're also massaging out your sacrum and your celiac joint, sacroiliac joint, whatever it is back there. Your sacrum, sacroiliac joint, I can't say it. Anyway, you're massaging it side to side. Go nice and slow, because it might be tender. Just take your time. And then if you feel like staying on one side in this little twist, just take a couple moments there. And then maybe pause over on the other side as well. Just take a couple moments on that side. And then whenever you are ready, you can bring yourself into Savasana. So you can extend the legs, you can keep the knees bent if you like. Just get yourself nice and comfortable. Take the time to slowly go through your body, just inviting every part to relax. And sometimes we need to actually tell parts of our body to relax. So relax feet, relax. Relax knees, relax. Relax hips, relax. Sometimes when we invite parts of the body, they're able to relax and soften just a little bit. slowly allow your breath to deepen. Slowly bringing your awarenesses to return to your body. So bring some movements back in, moving your fingers and toes. Maybe you move your head from side to side. Give yourself a little stretch. Point over and then bring yourself into any comfortable seat. You can sit on a chair if you need to. Sitting however you feel comfortable. Twisting turning yourself around. Yeah. And then just sitting up nice and tall. Take a moment just to maybe close your eyes. If it doesn't feel good to close your eyes, you can always have just a soft gaze. Eyes. Just allow yourself to watch your breath. Not very often we really pay attention to the way that we are breathing. Just feeling that breath move in and out of the body. I'm really trying to watch it move. Like, where is it going? Where is it coming from? Taking nice, big, full breaths in, or just take little breaths. As the inhale and the exhale, the same length. You feel like you're rushing through the breath. Maybe every breath is totally different. Two more breaths like that. Just noticing, being present. And then it takes a few moments just to reflect on the practice. So in other words, what brought you to practice today? What was your intention? And then thinking about those yamas again, that first limb of the sutras. Go through them again. So the first one is non-violence, being kind. Were you able to notice that in your practice today? I'm not saying through the whole thing, just maybe a glimmer here and a glimmer there. And then what about the second one about being honest and true to your own beliefs? The third one is your limitations, not stealing from yourself. Well, noticing where your limitations are, your boundaries. And then moderation and balance. And the last one, gratitude. We were able to detect about all 5 of those through your practice today. And we're just skimming the surface. We can go so deep. We have hours and hours of workshop just on one of those topics. They go deep. But just for now, just noticing. Don't worry if you didn't. It's okay. It's a new thing. Sometimes just having it percolate around and just giving yourself the idea that there are those things and that they are evidently in your practice and in your daily life. Okay, let's bring our hands towards our heart and bow our head and give ourselves gratitude for showing up for yourself today, for doing some beneficial things, whether physical, mental, or emotional. And gonna finish this practice with Om. So take a breath in through the nose. Sigh it out. Breathe in for Om. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks for practicing with me today. And maybe trying something a little bit different. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're warm. We actually could have opened up the windows.
Yeah.
I think next week we're definitely gonna have to open
I'll
up the
get it
windows
remember that.
as it gets warmer. Yeah, we can definitely have a little cross breeze going.
Bunch of women too, a lot of women.
Yeah, exactly.
All in that scene.